Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you to those who subscribe. We've passed 400, guys. 400 rand. Tina 400 rand. It's like we have a 350 from the government. Now we want more, guys. We must get to 1,000. But anyway, guys, the news of today is that Cheese has finally announced after decades. You know, Cheese is like, I don't know what. It's like the people who we know have lobolat, but they don't want to tell us. They just want to tell us decades later. But anyway, Cheese has finally signed. Well, they say his name. His name looks like it's spelled Jason Gonzalez, but actually they say the English name is Hassan Gonzalez. But yeah, hey, that guy's name is so long. It's like Itagazelo, baba. Clan names, baba. Hey, Wagabani, wait. Yeah, that is what Jason's name looks like. They say apparently his name is basically the calendar of the year. I am going to do my best to say his full name, but just know there's no commentator in the world who will ever say this full name. They will die. They will die saying this. They will hammer themselves. But yeah, his name is Enero, Febrero, Maro, Abril, Mayo, Junio, Julio, Agosto, Septembre, October, November, and December. That is basically January, December. So guys, that is the guy's full name, but obviously we're gonna call him Hassan Gonzalez. We're hoping Hassan Gonzalez can score a lot of goals, but like I mentioned, there's another video that I'll link after this video where I go into a deep dive of my analysis of Hassan. But the thing I want to say is that it's saying that last season or the 2023 season he scored 8 goals in like 15 games, and I want to tell you this, guys, let us not read into these numbers too much, because this guy is 24 years old and he's played in like 49 professional games. You see, a 24-year-old who's only played 49 professional games already is a question mark. Why has he only played 49 games? Yo, like Shabalala I've mentioned in the other video, has now almost 22 games of professional football, and the guy is going to only turn 20 next year. So Hassan, something is wrong. It's either my injury, his behavior, or his pap. So my question is, let's not get too excited. Let's let him play and see what he has. But I will say this: South American players tend to be way better than the general African players. So chances are he will find ways to score. I mean, Gustavo Paez, if he had better coaching, maybe he was going to be better at Chiefs. But Gustavo was a guy who just didn't have enough players around him to really shine. But yeah, that's a story for another day. So yeah, guys, the guy has basically, I think in his whole career, he has like about 11 goals in 49 games. So that is the true picture I want everyone to understand before we get too excited. He may come to the PSL and score 20 goals. We will be happy. No one will complain. But if he comes into the PSL and only scores 2 goals, you know what? It is what it is. But then I have a question for you guys. Guti, right now, our transfer we let go of Caleb Sharp. He was a foreign player. On transfer market, I had a quick look at transfer market to actually highlight something. On transfer market, before we signed Gonzalez, when we still had Caleb, it said we had 5 foreign players. So meaning when Gonzalez came, we were going to have 6 foreign players, but only 5 are allowed to be registered in the DSTV Premiership. But then there have been rumors floating around. Guti, Edmison Dove is going to apply for South African citizenship because apparently he's been in South Africa for more than 5 years now. So then it makes me ask you guys this question. Guti, if Udove is technically going to be an SA citizen, why does it feel like Chiefs was pushing to get Caleb off their books as soon as possible? And this is now my question, guys. Is it possible, Guti, there is another foreign player coming to Chiefs besides Gonzalez, but Chiefs has just been playing it low and not saying anything? Is it possible? Because if Dove gets his citizenship, we will have 4 foreign players and we will have one more space for a foreign player. Now the question is, are Chiefs making provision for that player they want to get? And who could this player be, if this player even exists? There were rumors of maybe like a German striker, etc., etc. But for me, it's very interesting that they rushed getting Upimenyimana out and signing Gonzalez, and then the story Uguti Udove could be a SA citizen. That means there could be another player, guys. And I want you guys to really think about this and tell me if I'm wrong or right, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, we really hope Guti, whoever scouted who has sold Gonzalez, he like had a good eye. This is one thing I will say that is a positive, rather than going and looking for Abo Ajiman and Abo Pimenyimana and all these guys who have failed us for so many years. Oh, how many of these African guys have we brought to Chiza Kowete? All of these, some of them I don't even remember, but when I say, I'll be like, that guy played for Chiefs. That is how our past, like, let's say, over 13 years of Chiefs have been based on our foreign signings. Like, we have been struggling with foreign signings. So now, if we sign a foreign signing, let us sign quality. And this is what I mean. I'm going to break it down for those people who just want context as to why I'm pushing South American players. South American players, guys, when they play in South America, apparently the money they earn there is not too much. And the money that we earn in South Africa is 110 times better than the money they earn that side in South America. So if that is the case, that means that we can lure talented young players from South American teams who have not made the cut to go to Europe or whatever the case may be, but maybe had the talent to maybe go to Europe. We can lure those players to South Africa, sign them, let them score 20, 30 goals, achieves, etc., etc. And then from there, we then sell them to Europe, where they eventually want to be, or Saudi Arabia, where there's money. So imagine if we got Castillo young, imagine if we got all these players and we just found them and said, look, this is the quickest way to get to Europe. If you shine in South Africa, it's one of the fastest ways to get to Europe, because they do scout these players. We have so many players who went overseas and shine. So, and when you in South America, a lot of the times the teams are looking for the best. They're not looking for average players. So we can take the average, and maybe in that average we can find some kind of a Neymar or whoever it may be, and groom him, and then he becomes a talent. So that's why I push South American football, because those players are all about football and not this thing of money and girls and all of that. So guys, what do you think of this idea? Does it make sense to get South American players? And what do you guys think of Hugo Gonzalez? What do you guys think? And I will say this, guys. Chiefs, I will say this about the Chiefs. When Arthur Zwane was coaching, and when Umile Nziki is now the coach, I just want to give context to what I'm saying. When Arthur Zwane was coaching, Chiefs is seeming like they're playing the similar way to Arthur Zwane, with like how Frosler will invert and Klanti will invert. The only difference is that we have a better defense. So it will be interesting how we're going to integrate a striker who hasn't really acclimatized to South African football. And on top of that, we saw in the previous games with Rangachi Vavero is that there was very little supply to Ranga, hoping that we carry on from what we were doing against Cape Town City. If we continue to play how we were playing versus Cape Town City, then I'm happy. Then chances are Abu Gonzalez will find a lot of goals. Tell me what you guys think. And let's predict how many goals. Let's give Gonzalez 2 games. And after 2 games, let's predict how many goals he will have at the end of the season. But guys, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, guys. We hit 400. Thank you to those who have subscribed. I really appreciate it. Next, we need to hit 1,000, guys. We can do it. 96% of you have not subscribed. Then subscribe as a blief toch.